Permission to pause, letting go of overthinking at night. Purpose, help quiet the mind's loop of what-ifs and overanalysis. Are you aware that overthinking is a thief of peace? Give yourself permission to pause tonight. Chapter 1, The Nighttime Tug-of-War in Your Mind. Overthinking is a thief of peace. Give yourself permission to pause tonight. There is a peculiar silence that descends at night. The world slows. The noise lessens. And yet, for many of us, that's when the real noise begins. As the lights dim and the distractions fade, the mind turns inward and often not toward rest. Instead, it loops. It churns. It revisits conversations, replays moments, anticipates problems, and builds stories that may never happen. The mind, once our ally in navigating daytime challenges, becomes a restless narrator when all we crave is silence. If you've ever found yourself lying in bed, eyes wide open in the dark, mentally scrolling through unfinished to-dos, replaying what you should have said, or rehearsing for future battles, you are not alone. Overthinking at night is not a flaw, it is a common reaction of a mind trying too hard to protect you. But tonight, we begin the journey of letting that protection rest. Of reclaiming your nighttime peace. Let's begin by naming what this really is, a tug-of-war between your thoughts and your desire for stillness. But here's the truth, you do not have to play. You can drop the rope. The trap of the midnight mind. The night invites reflection, and that's a beautiful thing when it's rooted in peace. But when it turns into mental gymnastics, it drains rather than restores. Our minds are designed to analyze, solve, and anticipate. These functions serve us well during the day. But at night, without boundaries, these same strengths become burdens. The quiet amplifies our internal dialogue. Every fear, regret, and future worry becomes louder, more vivid. You begin thinking about that email you forgot to send. Then you remember the awkward thing you said at a meeting 3 weeks ago. Suddenly you're fast-forwarding 10 years, wondering if you'll be okay, if you've done enough, if it's too late to change something. This is the nighttime tug-of-war, a battle you didn't ask for, but somehow keep engaging in. What if you could let go? Here's a gentle truth you may not have heard enough. It's okay to let go of the rope. You don't need to fight every thought. You don't need to win every imagined scenario. You don't need to solve every problem before sunrise. Tonight, you can choose peace over performance. Imagine if, instead of engaging the spiral of thoughts, you simply whispered, "Not now." Not in rejection, but in permission. Permission to pause. Permission to rest. Permission to exist outside the battlefield of thoughts, if only for a few hours. You are not failing by resting. Many of us have internalized the idea that rest is earned, that we must finish the to-do list, make everyone happy, solve every challenge, and only then, when nothing is left, we can rest. But this mindset is a thief of health, joy, and balance. You don't need to earn rest. You are worthy of it simply because you are human. When your body is tired and your spirit is weary, that is not a sign of weakness. That is a message. A whisper from within saying, it's time to stop carrying what isn't yours tonight. Tonight, let rest be your revolution. Let this be your new ritual. Instead of falling into the tug-of-war, consider this your invitation to step outside of it. Begin your bedtime with intention. Say out loud or in your heart, I give myself permission to pause. Not everything needs to be fixed tonight. Then breathe slowly, deeply. With each exhale, release a thought. Let go of the tension in your jaw. Soften your forehead. Loosen your shoulders. Imagine your overthinking mind like a tightly clenched fist and allow it to open. If a thought insists on being heard, gently tell it, thank you for showing up. I see you. But I'm not entertaining you tonight. You're not ignoring it. You're simply deferring it. You are honoring your right to rest. A story to remember. Let me tell you a short story about Clara, a midlife professional, mother of two, and someone who wore every hat with pride and exhaustion. Clara would lie awake every night, trying to plan for everything: her work deadlines, her child's education, her aging parents, her savings account, and even the comments she might receive on a social media post. She told herself it was responsible, productive, necessary. But night after night, she woke up more depleted, more irritable, less herself. Then one night, something shifted. She read a passage much like what you're reading now, and it offered a simple suggestion: you are allowed to let the night be your healing, not your proving ground. Clara cried. Not because she was weak, but because she finally felt seen. That night, she whispered her first bedtime affirmation: "Tonight, I am allowed to pause." She still had responsibilities. She still had a busy mind. But she stopped bringing the battles into bed. That one decision changed everything. Tonight, let the healing begin. Let this be your moment. You are here, reading these words, not by accident but because your inner self is tired of fighting. It longs to be held in the arms of stillness. Let tonight be the beginning of a new relationship with yourself. One where silence is not feared, but welcomed. One where rest is not guilt, but honored. One where you meet the night not with clenched fists of anxiety but with open palms of surrender. You have nothing to prove. You have everything to gain. Sleep is not an escape. It is a return to your soul, to your calm, to the truest parts of you that overthinking hides. Tonight, you are not the thinker. You are the dreamer. And dreamers do not need to carry the weight of the world they float. So breathe. Release. Smile. You made it to this moment. That is enough. You are enough. And in this sacred pause, you are free. Chapter 2: Understanding the Overthinking Habit. You don't need to chase every thought. Some are just clouds passing by. There's a moment, usually after the last lamp is turned off, when a quiet stillness blankets the room and yet the mind refuses to settle. That stillness, which should feel peaceful, suddenly becomes a stage for an overactive mind to perform its never-ending mental theater. Why does this happen? Why does the brain seem to come alive just when the body wants to rest? And more importantly, how do we lovingly calm the storm? To move forward with peace, we must first understand what overthinking really is. Overthinking is not a flaw, it's a habit. Let's begin with compassion. Overthinking isn't a sign of weakness, stupidity, or mental failure. In fact, it often stems from strength, intelligence, empathy, planning skills, and sensitivity. You care deeply. You want to do things right. You fear missing something important. That's not failure. That's being beautifully human. Overthinking is the habit of returning again and again to thoughts that aren't helpful, aren't new, and aren't healing. It's when the mind confuses thinking with solving, remembering with rewriting, and reflecting with ruminating. It becomes a cycle not because you're broken, but because your brain thinks it's helping. The brain's protective nature. Your brain's primary job is survival, not happiness. Its job is to scan for threats, solve problems, and prepare for the unknown. It's a brilliant machine, but it doesn't know when to switch off. Especially at night, when the distractions of the day fall away, the brain seizes the silence as an opportunity to catch up on unfinished business. It replays that moment earlier when you misspoke. It questions whether you locked the door. It wonders if you're doing enough with your life. It plans, it reviews, it spins a million scenarios. Here's the catch: the brain does this because it thinks it's keeping you safe. But safety is not always found in analysis. Sometimes, true safety is found in stillness, in trust, In rest. The cost of overthinking. We often think overthinking is harmless, it's just in the head, right? But let's look closer. Overthinking steals sleep. Sleep loss weakens your immunity, disrupts hormones, and erodes your emotional resilience. Overthinking creates tension in the body. Your neck stiffens. Your breath shortens. Your heart may race, even as you lie still. Overthinking disrupts confidence. You begin doubting yourself. You hesitate. You criticize. You feel stuck. And most painfully, overthinking robs you of the present moment. Instead of being here in the softness of your sheets, the quiet of your room, the gentle rhythm of your breath, you are lost in moments that are either long gone or haven't yet arrived. This is not a light burden. But it's one you don't have to carry forever. From loop to liberation. Let's shift the narrative. Instead of "I can't stop overthinking," say, "I am learning to retrain my mind with love and patience." Every habit is a learned pattern, and what is learned can be unlearned. What is repeated can be reimagined. The first step to releasing overthinking isn't to shut your mind off. That's unrealistic and unnecessary. Instead, the key is to relate to your thoughts differently. Think of your thoughts like clouds in the sky. You're not required to chase every one. You can observe them. Watch them pass. Return to the blue sky behind them, your still, centered self. You are the sky. Your thoughts are just weather. A gentle practice, thought surfing. Tonight, try this when overthinking arises. Notice the thought. Without judgment. "Ah, here's that old story again." Name it. This is the "what if I fail" thought. Breathe. Slowly in. Slowly out. Say silently, "Thank you, mind, for trying to protect me. You may rest now." Visualize the thought floating away, like a balloon rising higher into the night sky. Each time you do this, you break the loop. You create distance between you and the thought. And over time, that distance becomes freedom. Why nighttime magnifies thoughts? At night, the world is quieter but the brain is still active. There's no meeting, no email, no TV, no conversation to drown out what's inside. So what happens? Your mind fills the silence. That's why creating a soothing pre-sleep routine is so vital. It signals to the brain, the day is done. No more problems to solve. This is a time for trust, not control. Some ideas. Gentle music or white noise. Dim lighting or candle light. A warm cup of chamomile tea. A gratitude journal by your bedside. A phrase repeated softly, "It's safe to rest now." Over time, these become anchors, cues that remind your mind it doesn't need to be on guard. You are safe. You are held. You are not your thoughts. This truth is radical and freeing. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness beneath them. The calm observer. The gentle soul watching the mind try and fumble to protect you. You are not the worry. You are not the fear. You are the presence witnessing it all. That presence is steady, soft, eternal. It does not need to think all night to be worthy. It already is. Closing reflection. Tonight, as you lie down and the first "what if" creeps in, pause. Place a hand on your chest. Feel the rhythm of your breath. And whisper to yourself, "I understand now. My mind is trying to help. But it doesn't have to run the show tonight. You are safe. You are enough. You are allowed to rest even when everything isn't perfect." Overthinking may have been your pattern, but it is not your identity. And every breath you take in stillness is a step toward a freer, lighter you. Peace is not found in solving everything. Peace is found in giving yourself permission to stop solving for now. You are ready to pause. You are ready to begin again, lighter, quieter, and more yourself. Chapter 3: The Healing Power of a Nightly Pause. Rest is not what you do when everything is done. It's what you do so you can carry everything with more grace tomorrow. Let's be honest, most of us treat rest like a luxury. Something to get to after the inbox is cleared, the house is cleaned, the kids are asleep, the bills are paid, and the entire world is somehow in order. And yet, that perfect time to rest rarely comes. Because just as one task ends, another appears. Life keeps moving. Deadlines keep shifting. And your peace keeps waiting. But what if peace didn't have to wait? What if pausing, not producing, was the most healing thing you could do with your night? Tonight, we reclaim the pause. Not as weakness, not as laziness, not as avoidance, but as a sacred, life-affirming act. The culture of constant output. You've been conditioned to believe that your value lies in your doing. That productivity equals worth. That rest is reserved for when you're sick, burned out, or finally caught up. But here's the quiet truth society rarely whispers. You do not exist solely to produce. You exist to experience. To breathe. To heal. To be. A body in motion must pause to refuel. A heart that loves must rest to feel. A mind that works hard must soften to see clearly. When you allow yourself to rest intentionally, you stop living reactively. You begin to live rhythmically. And that rhythm of effort and ease, doing and being, is the heartbeat of emotional well-being. Redefining the pause. A pause is not a full stop. It's a breath. A moment between the beats. Just like in music, the pause doesn't interrupt the melody, it makes it. It gives it depth, meaning, soul. So when you pause at night, you're not abandoning your responsibilities, you're honoring your humanity. The pause tells your nervous system, you are not in danger. You are safe to rest. It tells your inner critic, you've done enough for today. It tells your deeper self, I see you. I'm here. Let's be still together. A story of sacred stillness. Let me share the story of Rajan, a devoted son and software engineer in his early 50s. Every night, he would stay up late, checking his emails one last time, helping his aging mother with her medications, worrying about his daughter's university fees, and stressing over global economic news. He believed if he didn't think about these things before sleep, he'd be irresponsible. But his sleep became fragmented. He grew irritable. Joy vanished. He felt like a shell of the kind, capable man he once was. One evening, on a walk, a friend said gently, "Your brain is still solving the world at 2 a.m. You don't need more answers, Rajan. You need more peace." That night, for the first time, he set a timer for 10 minutes and sat quietly. No phone. No TV. Just silence and breath. At first, it was hard. His thoughts ran wild. But eventually, they slowed. And in that space, he felt something he hadn't in years: relief. He realized the pause didn't make the problems disappear, it gave him the strength to meet them with more grace the next day. Designing your nightly pause ritual. You don't need an hour to reclaim peace. You just need presence. Here's how to begin your own nightly pause ritual. 1. Set an intention. Before bed, say, "This time is for me. I choose peace over pressure." Let your mind know it's shifting from doing to being. 2. Create a calm space. Light a candle. Dim the lights. Wrap yourself in a soft blanket. Remove anything that screams work or should. Your body responds to cues. A calming space tells your system, it's safe here. 3. Breathe with purpose. Close your eyes. Breathe in slowly for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Do this for 3 to 5 minutes. Let your breath be your anchor when your thoughts drift. 4. Use a mantra. Silently repeat. I allow myself to pause. I am safe. I am enough. Let this become your lullaby to the soul. 5. Reflect gently. If your mind insists on thinking, direct it toward gratitude. What did I survive today? What moment brought me joy? What can I lay down for the night? Let reflection lead to release, not rumination. The healing power in the pause. When you pause at night, you're doing more than relaxing. You're rewiring your nervous system to shift from fight or flight into rest and digest. Telling your inner child that it's okay to not hold the whole world together. Creating space for dreams, for intuition, for soul whispers that can't be heard in the noise. This pause becomes your medicine, your mirror, your sacred ground. And over time, the more you practice pausing not out of exhaustion, but out of choice, the more powerfully your life transforms. You begin to trust your rhythms. You stop reacting to everything. You begin living from your core, not your chaos. You deserve this. Let this truth settle into your bones tonight. You do not have to earn this pause. It is your birthright. You've done enough. You've tried enough. You've carried enough. Now is the time to breathe. To receive. To simply be. Even the stars rest in stillness before shining again. Even the moon wanes so it can wax again. Nature herself pauses. So should you. A gentle invitation. Tonight, before your head hits the pillow, give yourself this gift, 10 sacred minutes of quiet presence. No goals. No judgments. Just you with you. Even if your mind still chatters, you showed up. That's the beginning of healing. Even if peace doesn't arrive right away, trust that it will come closer each time you pause. Your body is listening. Your soul is watching. And with every breath of calm, you are coming home to yourself. Subliminal message. You are worthy of rest. You are healing with every pause. You are enough, even in stillness. Chapter 4, Releasing the What-Ifs. What if it all works out? A question just as valid as any fear you've ever imagined. We've all been there. Lying in the quiet of night, staring into the darkness, when a whisper surfaces. What if I fail? What if they leave? What if I lose everything? One what if breeds another. What if I don't recover? What if I'm not good enough? What if I regret this decision? And soon, a single thread of uncertainty becomes a tangled knot of anxiety that refuses to loosen. Tonight, let's do something radical. Let's untie the knot. The weight of the what if. What if thinking is like carrying a backpack filled with imaginary stones? None of them are real, not yet. But your body feels the weight. Your mind absorbs the pressure. It's the mind's way of trying to prepare, to protect, to predict. It believes if it can anticipate every possible danger, it can somehow control the outcome. But control is a myth. And preparation does not equal peace. The truth is, what if thinking rarely solves anything, but it often steals everything: your sleep, your clarity, your ability to be here, now. Where what ifs come from? Let's demystify this mental habit. Overthinking isn't random. It's a survival mechanism. The what ifs come from your inner protector, a part of you that was likely formed long ago, during a time when uncertainty led to pain, disappointment, or abandonment. Maybe you were raised in an unpredictable household. Maybe you were told to expect the worst so you wouldn't be hurt. Maybe you learned early that being caught off guard is dangerous. So now, as an adult, your mind keeps scanning for hidden threats like a lighthouse searching for storms. But in doing so, it overlooks the stillness, the calm, the clear waters that surround you right now. Tonight, we let that protector rest. The cost of living in hypotheticals. Let's be honest. Worrying doesn't change outcomes. It only drains your energy to face them. For every what if you've obsessed over, how many actually happened? And of those, how many did you survive anyway? You are here. Reading this. Breathing. Healing. Which means you've overcome more than you remember. You are more resilient than your fears give you credit for. It's time to stop rehearsing pain that hasn't happened. It's time to start rehearsing peace. Try the worry postponement technique. You don't need to banish your thoughts. Just delay them. Here's how. Write down your what if on a piece of paper or in a journal. Don't judge. Just name it. Tell yourself, I'm allowed to think about this tomorrow at 10 a.m. For now, I rest. Schedule worry. Literally. Put it on your calendar. Trust that future you will handle it better after rest, not before it. You'll be surprised how often, by morning, the fear feels smaller, or irrelevant, or easier to face. Because you're not avoiding life, you're creating space for life to be lived without the weight of imagined sorrow. A nighttime visualization, releasing the storm. Try this practice tonight, just before bed. Close your eyes. Picture a small boat floating in a dark sea. You're sitting in the boat, holding a glowing lantern. Each what if thought becomes a paper lantern you place on the water. Watch it float away, one by one, further, smaller, until it's gone. You are not trying to destroy the thoughts, you are letting them go. Each lantern whispers, I do not need to carry this tonight. And your boat, surrounded by stillness, stays gently afloat, cradled by peace. Reframe the what if. If you must ask what if, ask it differently. What if I'm more capable than I think? What if this is leading to something better? What if tonight's rest unlocks tomorrow's clarity? What if I'm already enough, even without all the answers? The mind responds to repetition. Feed it new possibilities. Challenge the fear with compassion, not logic. The mind doesn't need to be forced, it needs to be redirected. Let faith be the new default. Not blind faith, but gentle trust. Trust that not everything must be understood to be okay. Trust that you are not alone in your uncertainty. Trust that your body is wiser than your fear. You were never meant to solve it all tonight. Give yourself the grace to pause. You're not lazy for letting go of mental loops. You're not irresponsible for choosing rest. You're not avoiding your life, you're choosing to live it without being crushed by it. You can be wise and still rest. You can be responsible and still sleep. You can care deeply and still take your hands off the wheel just for tonight. A real-life reminder. Elena, a 47-year-old nurse, spent years worrying about her adult son's future. Every night, what if he never finds direction? What if he loses his job? What if he falls into depression? Then one night, exhausted, she said aloud, what if I just love him, and trust him, and go to bed? She still cared. She still helped when needed. But she stopped sacrificing her health on the altar of what she couldn't control. Her sleep returned. Her laughter returned. And eventually so did her son's clarity. Sometimes, letting go creates more healing than holding on ever could. Tonight's affirmation. Say this softly before bed. I release the need to predict every outcome. I trust that tomorrow will meet me with grace. I allow rest to hold me even when my mind isn't finished. Let it echo like a lullaby for your nervous system. Subliminal message. You are safe to rest. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming gently, bravely, one pause at a time. Final thought. The mind will ask 1,000 what ifs. But tonight, let your soul answer just one. What if I let go, and found peace instead? Because peace is not found in controlling life, it's found in trusting your place within it. Let go, just for tonight. Let your heart float freely above the noise. And as you close your eyes, may the only what if that remains be this. What if this moment is the beginning of everything good? Chapter 5, Creating a Night Sanctuary. Your bedroom isn't just a place to sleep, it can be a sanctuary, a sacred space for your soul to soften. The day asks so much of you. You're expected to think clearly, decide quickly, respond kindly, plan ahead, be available, stay grounded, and somewhere between all that, be at peace. By the time night comes, it's no surprise that your system is overloaded. The world has pulled at every corner of you. That's why creating a space where you can fully return to yourself, where no one needs anything from you, becomes not just helpful, but essential. This space is your night sanctuary. A physical and emotional environment that invites deep rest and soul repair. You don't need expensive tools, a luxury mattress, or perfect silence. What you truly need is intention. The decision to treat bedtime as a sacred pause, and your bedroom as the healing ground where your body and spirit are nourished night after night. Your space reflects your state. Let's start with a simple truth. The way your bedroom looks and feels affects the way you sleep. Clutter in your space often reflects and reinforces clutter in your mind. If your sleep area is filled with unfolded laundry, open electronics, harsh lighting, or reminders of work, your subconscious stays on alert. The brain interprets the space as unfinished business, and your body holds onto that tension. Your room doesn't need to be a show home. But it does need to feel like your haven, a space where you are allowed to slow down and simply exist. A sanctuary isn't about perfection. It's about intention. Start with the 5 senses. Use your senses as allies. Let each one be a doorway into calm. One sight: soften the light. Avoid bright, cold lighting in the evening. Switch to soft, warm light sources like salt lamps, fairy lights, candles, real or LED, dimmable bedside lamps. Low lighting signals the body that it's time to unwind. It helps the brain begin its transition from high function to healing mode. Decorate your space with calming tones. Think earth shades, soft blues, gentle greens, warm neutrals. These colors soothe the mind and invite serenity. Include something beautiful and personal, a framed quote, a peaceful photo, a symbol of hope. Let your eyes fall on something that makes your heart exhale. 2. Choose soothing sounds. The right soundscape can melt mental chatter. Consider white noise machines, gentle rain or ocean wave sounds, soft instrumental music, nature soundscapes, forest, birds, night crickets. Even a fan or a calming audio playlist can help ground your thoughts and signal safety to your nervous system. Better yet, use a recorded nighttime affirmation track, your own voice or a trusted guide whispering peace into your ears. 3. Scent use. Aromatherapy for calm. Our sense of smell is deeply connected to memory and mood. A familiar, calming scent can immediately soothe the mind. Try lavender, reduces heart rate and promotes sleep. Chamomile, cedarwood, frankincense, ylang ylang. Use essential oil diffusers, pillow sprays, or even a dab of oil on your wrists and neck. With repetition, your body will begin to associate the scent with winding down. One whiff, and your entire system starts to exhale. 4. Touch. Make your bed a nest. Invest in comfort, not cost. Choose textures that feel safe, soft, and nurturing. Clean, breathable sheets. A weighted or soft throw blanket. Comfortable pillows. Warm socks or cozy loungewear. Let your body feel held, like it has permission to melt, to soften, to let go. When you get into bed, place your hand on your heart or stomach and say, "This is my safe space. I am held here. I am home." 5. Taste sip calm into your system. Introduce a nighttime beverage that gently signals the body it's time to transition. Herbal teas like chamomile, valerian root, or lemon balm. Warm oat milk with cinnamon or nutmeg. A small piece of dark chocolate, just a square, for a treat that whispers comfort. Avoid caffeine, sugar, and heavy meals before bed. Think light, warm, grounding. This act of sipping slowly becomes a calming ritual, one that brings you back to presence. Clear what doesn't belong in your sanctuary. Let your room be a no-drama zone. Remove work materials. Devices with blue light, phone, tablet, laptop. Piles of paperwork. News notifications. Anything that triggers tension. This isn't about being extreme, it's about being protective of your peace. Your room is for rest, reflection, and renewal, not rehearsal, regret, or reaction. You deserve at least one place in your life where peace is the default. The energy you bring matters too. Beyond decor, it's the energy you bring to your room that shapes it. Don't argue in your bedroom. Don't mentally replay the day's stress in your bed. Don't treat sleep as a burden, treat it as your body's celebration of survival. Before you enter your bedroom each night, pause at the door. Take a breath and mentally leave the day behind. Say quietly, "This space is for healing. Everything else can wait." Let your room become an invitation to exhale, to surrender. The bedroom as an emotional sanctuary. More than just physical peace, your night sanctuary must hold you emotionally. Make it a ritual to release tension, through breath, prayer, meditation, or journaling. Reflect gently, what did I learn today? What can I let go? Forgive yourself for anything unfinished, imperfect, or overwhelming. Speak to yourself kindly, say what you need to hear, not what you fear. You are not here to carry everything into your dreams. Let the room absorb it. Let your sheets soften it. Let the darkness dissolve it. A bedtime blessing. As you tuck yourself in tonight, try this blessing. I allow my body to soften, my mind to quiet, my heart to feel held. This space is my sanctuary. Here, I am safe. Here, I am whole. Here, I rest. Let the words wrap around you like another blanket. Subliminal message. You deserve a space that reflects your soul's need for peace. Your sanctuary is not a luxury, it is your right. You are safe to rest. You are allowed to let go. Final thought. Sleep is not a pause in your life, it's part of your healing. Your night sanctuary isn't a bedroom, it's a commitment. A vow to yourself that even when the world is noisy, you will return to quiet. That even when the day feels heavy, you will have a soft place to land. And that even when your mind is racing, you will still choose peace. Tonight, build that sanctuary. Not out of duty but out of love. You're worth that kind of care. Chapter 6, Befriending the Inner Voice. Talk to yourself the way you would to someone you love who is afraid in the dark. Late at night, when the world quiets down and the lights go out, a different kind of voice tends to show up. It doesn't come from outside. It comes from within, and more often than not, it sounds like a judge, a critic, or a worrier. This is the inner voice, that constant inner dialogue that narrates your life, questions your actions, and second guesses your worth. If you've ever replayed a conversation and heard that voice say, "Why did you say that?" Or looked in the mirror and thought, "I'm not good enough." Or lain awake thinking, "I should have done more today," then you've met the voice we're talking about. But here's the truth most of us forget. Your inner voice is not your enemy. It's just been misunderstood. Tonight, instead of trying to silence it or drown it out, let's do something radical. Let's listen. Let's understand. Let's befriend it. The origins of the inner voice. That critical voice wasn't born in malice. It wasn't designed to tear you down. It formed, often in childhood, as a survival mechanism. Maybe it mimics the tone of a parent, teacher, or past experience that taught you the world is harsh, and you must be hard on yourself to succeed. Maybe it was your way of avoiding mistakes, earning love, or staying safe. In short, that voice formed to protect you, not punish you. But now, as an adult, you no longer need protection in the form of criticism. What you need is compassion. From inner critic to inner caregiver. Imagine this. You're comforting a dear friend who's anxious, overwhelmed, and exhausted. Would you say, "You're so stupid for forgetting that. You'll never get it right. No wonder no one appreciates you"? Of course not. You'd offer empathy, understanding, and reassurance. So why do we speak to ourselves so cruelly? The healing begins when you realize you can train your inner voice to stop being a harsh critic and start being your most loyal, gentle companion. This isn't self-delusion. It's self-liberation. A simple practice, the inner voice check-in. Each night, before bed, do this. Pause. Sit or lie down in stillness. Listen. What is your inner voice saying right now? Name it. Is it fear? Shame? Perfectionism? Self-pressure? Respond as a friend. Speak back with love. For example, inner voice, "You didn't do enough today." Your response, "I did what I could with the energy I had. That is enough." Inner voice, "You messed that up." Your response, "I made a mistake, yes. But I am still learning, and I forgive myself." Inner voice, "You'll never be okay." Your response, "I may feel lost now, but peace is returning to me one breath at a time." This practice rewires the brain. Over time, the tone of your inner dialogue changes. And with it, your sense of safety, confidence, and calm. You don't have to believe every thought. Not all thoughts are true. Not all voices are wise. Your mind can be loud and wrong at the same time. Just because your inner voice says something doesn't mean you have to absorb it as truth. You have the power to pause, to question, to rewrite. Ask, would I say this to someone I love? Is this thought helping me or hurting me? What would kindness sound like right now? By becoming the observer rather than the victim of your inner dialogue, you reclaim your power. Creating a loving nightly dialogue. Make it a bedtime ritual to speak gently to yourself. Here's a script to begin. Dear self, I know you've carried a lot today. You tried your best, and even if it didn't feel like enough, I see your effort. I forgive you for the things you wish you'd done better. I'm proud of the way you keep showing up. You are not defined by what went wrong. You are defined by your willingness to begin again. I'm here with you now. Let's rest. Let's heal. Let's remember who we truly are beneath the noise. Let these words settle into your nervous system like a lullaby of truth. When the inner voice is in pain. Sometimes, your inner voice speaks sharply because it is hurting. It may sound angry, but beneath that anger is fear. It may sound harsh, but beneath that harshness is grief. It may sound cold, but beneath that coldness is a deep, unmet need to feel safe and seen. When this happens, don't respond with more anger. Respond with softness. Imagine wrapping that voice in a warm blanket and saying, "I know you're scared. It's okay now. We're safe. We're allowed to rest." The parts of you that shout the loudest are often the parts that need love the most. Name your inner ally. Here's a beautiful exercise. Give your inner compassionate voice a name. A personality. A presence. It could be your future wise self. It could be a grandmother figure. It could be you as a calm, centered version of who you long to be. When your critic arises, call upon this inner ally. Say, "I hear the fear. Now I'd like to hear from the calm part of me." Let that voice speak louder over time, it will. Night is when healing speaks loudest. The voice you fall asleep to is powerful. Let it be one that soothes, not shames. Let it be one that uplifts, not undermines. As you lay down each night, place a hand over your heart. Breathe. And whisper, "I am still growing. I am still learning. But right now, I am enough." Subliminal message. You are not your mistakes. You are not your fears. You are the one who survived. You are the one who still loves. You are the one who is becoming beautifully, softly, bravely. Final thought. Your inner voice is not your fate. It is your story, and stories can evolve. You have the power to rewrite the narrative. You can choose softness. You can choose warmth. You can choose to befriend the voice that once kept you up at night and turn it into a guide that lulls you into peace. Tonight, start the friendship. Because the person you speak to most is you. And you deserve to be spoken to with love. Chapter 7, Replacing Analysis with Appreciation. Trade the need to dissect the day for the simple gift of appreciating it. Overthinking at night often begins innocently. You lie down, and your mind starts reviewing the day. Did I say the right thing? Could I have handled that better? Why did I feel off today? Before long, a mental magnifying glass appears. You start dissecting every interaction, decision, and missed opportunity. You replay moments, twist them, judge them. This habit of mental analysis may seem productive, but it rarely brings peace. It doesn't resolve the past. It replays it. It doesn't clarify the future. It complicates it. If analysis is your nightly visitor, tonight we offer it a new role. Let's trade criticism for curiosity. Let's shift from analysis to appreciation. Because what the mind dissects, the heart can learn to bless. Why analysis feels compulsive. The urge to analyze is rooted in your need for control. It's your brain's way of tying up emotional loose ends, looking for closure, clarity, and certainty. But what if you didn't need to tie every knot before bed? What if some of those loose ends were simply invitations to trust, not to solve? Let this idea settle gently. Not everything that happened today needs to be explained. Some things simply need to be accepted. Analysis demands resolution. Appreciation invites peace. From judgment to gentle observation. Think of the mind like a movie critic, constantly reviewing the events of the day. But tonight, you don't need a critic, you need a gentle observer. The gentle observer doesn't judge. It notices. Instead of, "Why was I so emotional in that meeting?" say, "I was moved. That moment touched something in me." Instead of, "I didn't do enough today," say, "I gave what I had. And that is valid." Instead of, "I should have said something else," say, "I spoke with the awareness I had. I'll grow from this." This inner shift doesn't ignore what happened, it reframes it through kindness. And kindness, unlike criticism, helps you sleep at night. The gratitude filter, a tool for rest. Gratitude is more than positive thinking. It's a conscious redirection of energy from scarcity to sufficiency, from self-judgment to self-acknowledgement. Let's turn your nighttime review into a gratitude ritual. The 5-step nightly gratitude practice. Close your eyes and breathe. Let your breath slow. With each exhale, release the need to fix. Name 3 things that went well. They don't have to be big. Maybe you finished a task, smiled at a stranger, drank enough water. Appreciate one effort you made. Reflect, I showed up today even when it was hard. I paused before reacting. I asked for help. Acknowledge someone or something you're grateful for. A person, a quiet moment, a beam of sunlight, anything that softened your day. Speak a statement of sufficiency. Today held enough. I was enough. I did enough. Repeat this practice each night, and you'll notice how your nervous system begins to associate bedtime with appreciation, not analysis. Why gratitude calms the mind. Gratitude activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and restore state. It shifts your attention from perceived threats to present blessings. You can't simultaneously be in a state of gratitude and a state of fear. This means that even just 1 minute of sincere appreciation can lower cortisol, ease muscle tension, and invite the peace you've been chasing with analysis. And here's something beautiful. The more you practice gratitude, the more things you'll notice to be grateful for. Because where attention goes, peace grows. Appreciation is the language of the heart. Your mind wants answers, but your heart wants connection. When you shift from mental review to heartfelt appreciation, you reconnect with your deeper self, the part of you that isn't defined by mistakes or checklists, but by intention, care, and presence. Tonight, speak that language. Appreciate the way your heart kept beating through the chaos. Appreciate how you gave even when you felt empty. Appreciate your breath, your body, your spirit's quiet resilience. You don't have to be perfect to be praiseworthy. A story of nightly appreciation. Carlos, a middle-aged father and business owner, once shared how nighttime analysis almost broke him. He would lay awake for hours replaying meetings, decisions, and parenting choices. He believed this mental accountability made him a better man. But it only made him tired, critical, and distant from his family. One night, after reading about gratitude journaling, he decided to end his mental spirals with appreciation. That night, he wrote, "I'm thankful I hugged my daughter when I came home. I'm grateful I paused before raising my voice in traffic. I appreciate the effort I gave at work even if it wasn't perfect." He cried. Not because he had failed, but because he saw maybe for the first time just how deeply he was trying. Carlos still reviews his days. But now, he ends them with warmth, not war. And he sleeps better because of it. Create a gratitude anchor in your bedroom. To reinforce this shift, place a small object near your bed, a stone, photo, candle, or notebook. Let it be your gratitude anchor. Each night, when your hand touches it, let it remind you. There is something worth appreciating even in the chaos. Even on the worst days, this anchor calls you back to your power. Not the power to control, but the power to see beauty where fear once lived. Bedtime gratitude affirmation. Whisper this softly before sleep. I am thankful for this day, not because it was perfect, but because I showed up. I release the need to fix what cannot be fixed tonight. I honor the quiet miracles that passed through unnoticed. I let appreciation guide me into peace. Let this affirmation wrap you like a warm blanket around your soul. Subliminal message. You are not what you regret. You are not what you overanalyze. You are what you choose to appreciate, and appreciation heals all things. Final thought. Analysis is the habit of the mind. Appreciation is the habit of the soul. Tonight, choose appreciation. Let your heart name what is good, however small. Let your breath soften around what is unfinished. Let gratitude be your lullaby, your anchor, your peace. Because even in the mess, there is beauty. Even in the questions, there is something worth praising. And in the quiet hours of night, what you choose to focus on, becomes what you carry into your dreams. Choose peace. Choose gratitude. Choose to rest in the good. Chapter 8, The Power of Surrender. Surrender isn't giving up. It's giving over to peace, to trust, to something greater than worry. We've all been taught that strength looks like control. That bravery means pushing through. That the more tightly you hold on, the safer you'll be. But what if that isn't true, at least not always? What if peace doesn't come from holding tighter, but from letting go? There is a quiet, sacred power in surrender, a word so often misunderstood. In the still hours of the night, surrender is not weakness. It is wisdom. It's not escape. It's an invitation. It's not about quitting, it's about trusting what's already unfolding. Tonight, let's walk into surrender together, not as an end, but as a homecoming. What surrender is, and what it isn't. Let's clear up the myth first. Surrender is not giving up on your goals, abandoning your responsibilities, ignoring what matters, pretending everything's fine. Surrender is loosening your grip on what you can't control tonight, letting life support you instead of fighting it alone, releasing the illusion that worrying equals protection, trusting that you can pause without falling apart. Surrender is the gentle turning inward that whispers, "I don't need to carry this all right now." It's not passive. It's profoundly active, an act of deep self-love. Why the night is the perfect time to surrender. At night, your body slows. The world quiets. You are closer to the divine, the unconscious, the unseen support systems that hold your breath without you asking. This is when surrender becomes most healing. During the day, you plan, react, and decide. But at night, those powers retreat. And if you try to keep them active, replaying the day, pre-playing tomorrow, you only exhaust yourself. But when you surrender, you fall into the current of rest. You're no longer swimming upstream. You're allowing the river of peace to carry you. This is not avoidance. This is alignment. What happens when you don't surrender? Refusing to surrender leads to mental fatigue, the spinning wheel of what-ifs, plans, and fears. Physical tension, jaw clenched, fists tight, sleep shallow. Emotional shutdown, the exhaustion of never switching off. Spiritual disconnection, the feeling that you must do it all alone. Surrender, then, is not just an option, it's a healing necessity. You cannot pour from an empty vessel. And without surrender, your vessel is never allowed to refill. A gentle exercise, the hands-off ritual. Try this before bed tonight. Sit quietly in bed, eyes closed. Place your hands palm up on your lap or beside you. Whisper this slowly. Tonight, I take my hands off the wheel. I surrender what I cannot fix, solve, or understand. I give my worries to rest. I give my questions to the night. I trust that peace is working on my behalf. Feel the symbolic weight leave your palms. Breathe. Trust. Let go. This is your cue to shift from the mode of control, to the state of being held. Surrendering to a higher power, however you define it. You don't have to be religious to surrender spiritually. Whether you believe in God, the universe, your higher self, or simply the mystery of life, surrender is your way of saying, I don't have to figure this all out right now. I'm not alone in this. Imagine handing over your heaviest thoughts to something vast and benevolent. Picture them leaving your mind like papers being lifted by the wind. You don't lose control, you gain perspective. You're not abandoning your life, you're aligning with it. A story of midnight surrender. Maya, a single mother in her 40s, often found herself waking up at 2 a.m. heart racing, thoughts wild. She worried about bills, about her teenage daughter, about aging parents. She journaled. She meditated. But the worry always returned. Until one night, in tears, she whispered aloud, "I can't do it all. Please help me." She didn't know who she was speaking to. But something softened. That night, she practiced surrender. She laid her hand on her chest and repeated, "It's not all mine to carry." Sleep came more easily. Peace returned slowly. And her days became more manageable, not because her problems vanished, but because her trust deepened. Maya didn't stop caring. She stopped controlling. Surrender versus suppression. Important distinction. Surrender is not stuffing your feelings down. Suppression hides pain. Surrender acknowledges pain and then lays it down. You are allowed to feel disappointed, afraid, unsure, and still surrender it all at the end of the day. You can say, "I feel this. I honor this. And I choose to rest anyway." That's not weakness. That's maturity. That's strength of the soul. Bedtime surrender prayer. Whisper this as you drift toward sleep. Tonight, I surrender everything I cannot carry. The unfinished, the uncertain, the unresolved. I give it over to the night, to God, to the universe, to peace. Let what is mine return to me with clarity. Let what is not mine dissolve into the dark. I surrender. I rest. I am safe to let go. Let this prayer be your bridge from chaos to calm. Subliminal message. You are not alone. You are not powerless. You are not behind. You are being guided, even as you rest. Let go and rise lighter. Final thought. You were never meant to carry the whole world. You were never meant to fix everything by midnight. You were never meant to control every outcome before your head hit the pillow. You were meant to breathe, to release, to be supported, to rest. Tonight, choose surrender. Not because you gave up, but because you're ready to receive more than fear could ever offer. Close your eyes. Open your hands. Trust the night. You're held. You're loved. You're free. Chapter 9, The Wisdom of Stillness. Stillness is not the absence of movement, it's the presence of deep transformation. There is a quiet moment, just before sleep, when the world falls away. No sounds, no alerts, no plans. Just you and silence. And yet, for many of us, this moment is uncomfortable. We fidget. Our minds scramble to fill the space. We reach for our phones, a thought, a worry, anything to avoid the vast, sacred emptiness that stillness brings. But what if that silence is exactly what your soul has been longing for? What if stillness isn't just the space between things, but the substance that lets everything breathe? Tonight, we reclaim stillness not as something to fear or rush through, but as a wise teacher, one that invites clarity, peace, and emotional restoration. Why we resist stillness. Modern life teaches us to equate stillness with stagnation. We're told, don't just sit there, do something. Action is progress. Rest is laziness. Movement equals meaning. So we rush, scroll, talk, fix, solve, always doing, always filling. But stillness? Stillness makes us confront ourselves. It asks us to pause without performance. It exposes our discomfort with being. And yet, this discomfort isn't a problem, it's a signal. It means you've reached the edge of your conditioning, and the beginning of your healing. The natural intelligence of stillness. Stillness is not passive. It is active restoration. Consider. The soil lies still before new growth begins. The moon appears motionless as it reshapes the tides. A seed in the dark does not panic, it gathers energy. Nature shows us this wisdom over and over. The most profound transformations often happen in the quiet, in the unseen, in the still. So why wouldn't the same be true for you? Your stillness tonight is not wasted time. It is sacred compost, the place where your soul's next season takes root. What happens when you let yourself be still? When you embrace stillness, several things unfold. Your nervous system resets. Cortisol levels drop. Muscles release tension. Breath deepens. Your thoughts untangle. What seemed like a mess becomes a clear message. Your emotions rise and pass, like waves that simply needed space to move. Your inner wisdom awakens. The answers you've been chasing may quietly arrive. Stillness is your soul's native language. When you stop speaking over it, you hear what truly matters. Stillness in the night. The night is made for stillness. Day is for doing. Night is for becoming. When the lights go off and the noise fades, your spirit returns to its natural rhythm, slower, deeper, wiser. Stillness in the night is not void. It's a vessel. It holds your unprocessed thoughts. It rocks your fatigue. It welcomes your vulnerability without judgment. In stillness, nothing is required of you. You don't have to be clever, strong, or productive. You just have to be. And that, dear soul, is more than enough. Practicing stillness, the Soul Sit Method. Tonight, invite stillness with this simple 5-minute ritual. Dim the lights. Sit or lie down in silence. No music. No distractions. Just stillness. Close your eyes. Place one hand on your chest, one on your belly. Breathe deeply. Feel the rise and fall. Let breath be your anchor. Don't chase thoughts. When a thought comes, greet it kindly. I see you. But I choose quiet now. Rest in the space between thoughts. This is where peace lives. At first, your mind will resist. That's okay. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to practice. Each moment you stay present builds your stillness muscle. Stillness, like any strength, grows with loving repetition. A story of stillness healing. Mikhail, a 62-year-old widower, used to dread the silence of night. It reminded him of loss, of absence, of the life he once had. So he filled his evenings with noise, TV, news, emails, anything to avoid the ache. But the ache never left. It simply waited. One winter night, power went out during a storm. No electronics. No distractions. Just candles, and silence. At first, it was unbearable. Then, something shifted. He sat with a photo of his late wife and wept, not from pain, but from release. In the stillness, he felt her presence. He felt his own resilience. And for the first time in years, he slept with ease. From that night on, Mikhail kept one evening a week as sacred stillness. It became his healing ground. Stillness didn't bring back what he lost, but it gave him back himself. When stillness feels scary. For some, stillness triggers anxiety. It feels too quiet, too uncertain, too raw. If that's you, here's a gentle truth. Stillness won't break you. It will return you to you. Begin with small doses. 2 minutes. Then 5. Add calming elements like dim light, warm tea, or a comforting scent. And most importantly, be gentle with yourself. Say, "This is new. I am safe to take it slow. You're not rushing into silence, you're remembering it. Bedtime stillness mantra. Before sleep, sit or lie still and say, I do not need to move to matter. I do not need to think to be wise. In my stillness, I am whole. In this quiet, I am home. Repeat it like a lullaby. Let each word land in your body like a soft drop of peace. Subliminal message. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not required to prove yourself. In your stillness, you are seen. In your quiet, you are reborn. Final thought. The wisdom of stillness is ancient. It lives in trees, in oceans, in stars, and it lives in you. Stillness does not mean nothing is happening. It means everything is happening beneath the surface. Tonight, don't be afraid of the quiet. Embrace it as your most loyal teacher. Let it hold your questions. Let it cradle your fatigue. Let it sing you to sleep without needing answers. Because in stillness, you are not lost. You are finally being found. Chapter 10, Tonight, you are free. You are free not because life is settled, but because you chose to lay it all down. There comes a point in the night, maybe when your eyes are heavy or your soul is tired, when you realize that no amount of thinking will rewrite the day. You cannot undo the words spoken or replay the decisions made. You cannot travel into tomorrow and fix what hasn't happened yet. You can't rewrite the past or fast forward to the future. But you can do one thing. You can give yourself permission. Permission to stop. Permission to exhale. Permission to be free. And that's what tonight is about. What does it mean to be free tonight? Being free tonight doesn't mean your life is complete. It doesn't mean all the problems are solved or that the path is clear. It means you are no longer a prisoner to the thoughts that once held you hostage. It means you've chosen rest over rumination. It means you've stepped out of the courtroom of your own judgment and walked into the sanctuary of compassion. To be free tonight is to release your grip on what you cannot carry through the dark. Because the night is not the time to carry burdens, it is the time to lay them down. You've done enough for one day. Let this truth land deep in your body. You've done enough. You have felt, tried, endured, given, worked, navigated, and survived another day. Even if it wasn't perfect. Even if there are loose ends. Even if you wish you had said more, done more, been more, let it go now. There is no perfect version of you waiting in some alternate version of today. There is only the version that showed up with heart and hope and intention, and that is enough. Freedom begins the moment you say, I no longer need to be more than I am in this moment. Your mind may resist, that's okay. Don't be surprised if your mind still tries to interrupt. It will whisper, but what about tomorrow? Or shout, you forgot to do that. Or guilt you wasted today. But you are wiser now. You know the difference between the voice of love and the voice of fear. Between your true self and your anxious patterns. Tonight, you answer that noise with a new truth. Thank you, mind. You've worked hard today. Now you may rest. I'm choosing peace. Over time, that choice becomes your default. That voice becomes quieter. And your freedom stronger. Freedom is a feeling, not a finish line. We often think freedom comes after we've earned it. After the work is done. After the debt is paid. After the relationship is healed. After the perfect version of ourselves arrives. But real freedom isn't found at the end of a checklist. It's found in a single decision. To stop fighting with the moment. To say, even here in this imperfect, unfolding, uncertain life, I am allowed to feel peace. That is a radical act. That is your liberation. A sacred nighttime ritual, closing the day gently. To step into this freedom, Create a nightly practice that reminds your body and soul that you are no longer on duty. Try this sacred closure ritual. Step 1. The Last Thought Journal. Write down one sentence. What I'm proud of today is. Even if it's small: showing up, staying kind, trying again. Step 2. The hand over the heart. Place your hand on your chest. Breathe. Whisper. I did enough. I am enough. I let this day be complete. Step 3. The gentle blessing. Light a candle or simply turn off the light slowly as you say, I release this day. I release this version of me. I am now free to rest. Let this be your closing signature, the soft punctuation at the end of your day's sentence. You are not the thoughts you leave behind. Tonight, as you drift toward sleep, know this. You are not the mistakes. You are not the noise. You are not the pressure. You are not the overthinking. You are the soul beneath the thoughts. You are the breath behind the worry. You are the light that still burns when everything else dims. You are free not because the world is perfect, but because you no longer ask it to be in order to feel peace. A story of nightly liberation. Ava, a retired teacher in her 60s, struggled with nightly guilt. Though she had given her whole life to educating others, she always felt she could have done more. She'd lie awake replaying decades-old decisions, the student she couldn't reach, the project she let go, the words she never said. Then one night, she wrote on a slip of paper, I forgive myself for not being everything. I was something and that was enough. She placed it under her pillow. That night, she slept soundly. From then on, every evening, Ava wrote herself a permission slip. You're free to stop. You don't owe perfection. You are allowed to rest. And in those simple notes, she found more freedom than decades of striving ever gave her. Bedtime Freedom Affirmation. Whisper this tonight. I free myself from the grip of overthinking. I free myself from the story of not enough. I free myself from the past and the pressure of the future. I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to be. I am allowed to sleep in peace. Tonight, I am free. Say it as many times as you need until your heart believes it. Subliminal message. You are no longer bound by the day. You are no longer defined by what didn't happen. You are no longer chasing peace, you are receiving it. You are free. You are enough. You are home. Final thought. This entire journey through breath, release, stillness, and surrender has led you here. To the threshold of rest. To the sacred moment where you no longer need to carry anything. To the night where your soul finally whispers, yes, this is the peace I've been waiting for. You don't have to earn sleep. You only have to allow it. You don't have to perfect life. You only have to live it. And tonight, more than anything, you are free. Close your eyes. Open your heart. Welcome the healing that only deep rest can bring. Peace be upon you. Sleep well, dear soul. Biggest takeaway from permission to pause. How to use this book for self-enhancement, self-transformation, and reclaiming life's true focus. Dear reader, dear listener, dear soul. This book is not just about quieting your mind before sleep. It is about remembering who you truly are underneath the noise. It is about reclaiming the space between your thoughts and discovering your power within that space. You came here seeking relief from overthinking. But what you truly found is a doorway back to yourself. What you're really learning. Each chapter was a gentle step toward emotional self-liberation. You've now learned how to release the mental loops that kept you awake at night. How to replace harsh inner judgment with warm, compassionate self-dialogue. How to trust stillness, surrender, and let go of perfection. How to practice appreciation instead of analysis, and see beauty in your ordinary, imperfect life. But more than that, you've learned that you are allowed to rest without guilt, to feel worthy without proving, and to exist without performing. And this is the first step in transforming your life. How to leverage this book for self-enhancement. Enhancement begins in the pause. Instead of pushing forward endlessly, build a nightly ritual that grounds you. The better your nights, the stronger your days. Use your favorite chapters as guided nightly reflections. Turn key affirmations into daily journaling prompts. Practice surrender, stillness, and gratitude consistently, not just when overwhelmed. Make your inner peace your top priority, because a calm mind becomes a clear life. How to use this book for self-transformation. Transformation begins when the mind stops running and starts listening. Let this book be your daily mirror, not just something you read once. Read a chapter out loud when you feel lost and let your own voice guide you back. Record your own night messages based on the book's affirmations and play them before bed. Teach others. Share your rituals. Let your peace ripple outward. The real transformation is when you become the source of calm, not just for yourself, but for others. How to re-engineer your life for focus and purpose. A peaceful mind sees clearly, and clear vision reveals true purpose. Overthinking scatters your energy. Stillness gathers it. Now that your mind is no longer your enemy, you can re-engineer your life. Start each day by asking, what would my calm self choose today? Make decisions from a rested mind, not a rushed one. Reflect weekly. Did I give my time to what truly matters, or just to what screamed the loudest? When your focus returns, your real mission in this life becomes visible, not as a burden, but as a blessing. How to be more appreciative in life. Appreciation is the heartbeat of fulfillment. This book taught you not to analyze life endlessly, but to appreciate it deeply. Look for hidden gifts in the ordinary. Practice gratitude for yourself, not just for what you have, but for who you're becoming. Bless the day before judging it. End each night with the question, what am I quietly proud of today? Over time, your lens will shift. From lack to love. From stress to sacredness. From chaos to clarity. The realization of your main objective in this life. You are not here to overthink life, you are here to live it. You are not a machine. You are a soul. You are not here just to finish tasks, chase goals, or meet deadlines. You are here to breathe. Give your unique light to the world. Experience love, even in pain. Grow in gentleness. Awaken others through your peace. And most importantly, you are here to remember that your worth is not defined by how much you do, but by how much presence you bring to who you are. Let this book be your nightly permission slip to return to that truth. You are not here to demerit yourself. Cross mark, stop using your energy to punish yourself. White heavy check mark, start using it to bless your existence. You are not here to keep asking what you could have done better. You are not here to diminish your contribution. You are here to honor the life force that still flows in you. To say, I may not have done everything right, but I am still worthy of rest, of healing, of joy. This is your new rhythm. Pause. Reflect. Appreciate. Surrender. Sleep. Awaken renewed. A final blessing. Tonight, you are not just going to sleep. You are returning to your essence. You are realigning with your Creator. You are preparing for a more intentional, peaceful life, one breath at a time. Live with ease. Focus on what matters. Appreciate your own efforts. And trust that your soul's quiet contribution matters more than you know. All is well. All is enough. All is blessed. God blessed. Reaching RTSG with AI assistance via WhatsApp QR code. Recommended Reinventing Ourselves YouTube video QR code.